there, Richard. I just wanted to let you know that the welcome ceremony at the preschool went great. I really do wish that you could have made it, though. There were actually a bunch of other dads there.
Oh, really? But it's a weekend. I would have thought that the men would be at work or something, unless the school is just full of bum parents.
Oh, come on, Richard. Don't be like that. They probably just took the day off to see their kids start school.
Well, that's a bit silly. I mean, it's only preschool. I don't think I could ever waste my time off on something as silly as that. Honestly, the whole thing is just a waste of time anyways, if you ask me. I would much rather be at work getting more important things done.
I see. Well, I guess I didn't realize that that's how you felt about it. But I can't say that I'm surprised. You certainly are dedicated to your work.
Well, of course I am. I'm the man of the house, and our job is to work for our families. But anyways, how was the preschool? Did it seem like a good place? I know that you took a lot of time picking out which school to send Junior to. Did the teachers seem nice and responsible?
Yeah, the whole place seemed okay to me. I didn't really see anything that would be a problem, I don't think.
You don't think? Well, how about you open your eyes and start taking a good look? This is where we're going to be leaving our kid all day. If you think there's going to be something that makes the school a bad fit, then we should go and look for another one.
Well, it's only the first day of preschool, so I think that Junior is going to have to get used to this place first. But in terms of first impressions, I really liked what I saw, and I really don't foresee any problems here.
Well, just make sure that you really try and take it all in and don't miss any details, because I really have no problem pulling Junior out and finding a better school for him.
But I think that Junior is already having a good time here. I mean, you know how kids are, but he's already playing with some other boys. I really think we should just give him some time here to see how he likes it himself.
Well, I'm just saying that we need to be careful thinking about what kind of school we send our kid to. I want to make sure that he's going to get a good education before we dedicate ourselves to one, because it's going to be a whole process to pull him out if we wait a half a year to pass.
I get that, but I don't really think preschool is all about education, you know?
Well, they should be. What's the point of sending a child to school if they aren't going to learn anything? Kids need to start being taught about the world from a very young age, or else they'll grow up not knowing anything.
I'm not saying Junior won't be taught anything, but I think that preschool is as much about making friends, playing, and being creative as it is learning.
And just what in the world do any of those other things have to do with learning at all, huh? It's a school, so they should be being educated.
But classroom learning isn't the only way that a child, especially one so young, can learn. There's a lot of learning that can be done through play and art and things like that. Maybe if you were here, you could see how much Junior is enjoying it.
Well, I'm busy with work, and besides, taking care of those sort of things are your job. So just make sure to not screw up. Got it?
Okay then. I'll ask the teachers a few questions about their curriculum and what they teach. Is there anything in particular that you want me to ask them about?
Actually, yes. Now that you mention it, I want to know if they teach any foreign languages there, and if they have any sports clubs as well. If there are any other moms there, I want you to ask them about what they think of the school, and if they think it's been good for their children, okay?
Yeah, sure. I can do all that. But I feel like even if they had foreign languages classes, that would be enough. I mean, our kid is only just starting preschool. I know you want them to learn a lot, but you've got to give them time to develop some more.
What are you saying? That my kid is slow or something? That he's going to need more time to learn? If this school can't teach my kid from a young age, that's their fault.
Richard, please. I think that you're being just a little unreasonable. I mean, Junior will learn things, that's a given.
Well, you seem to not be so sure about it just a little while ago. So if anything goes wrong with this place, it'll be on you.
Wait a second. How will any of this be my fault?
Let's think about that. Which one of us went to a great college, and which one of us went to a second-rate college? I'm not going to let my son grow up stupid like you.
Okay, maybe I didn't go to some Ivy League school like you, but that's not fair to call me an idiot.
I'm just saying that kids need to become competitive quick in order to survive in this world. If a kid gets left behind, then they're basically signing their own death warrant. No, ask around and make sure that we're making the right choice with this school. And don't make me tell you to do this again. Hey, Maggie, did you make sure to send that package to my mom's house?
Yeah, I think it just arrived. Or at least I got a message saying that it did.
Well, that's good to hear. Did you have a chance to talk to my mom? How is she doing?
She says that her leg is still really bothering her, but that she is otherwise okay.
That's a relief. I just hope she gets over this fast.
Of course. Although after the package arrived, your mom sent me a bunch of money. Is this okay? I only ask because she gave us quite a bit of money when Junior started at preschool as well.
Yeah, of course you should take the money. My mom hurt her leg. You're helping her. You deserve an award, don't you think?
Well, of course I'm grateful to be able to help your mom. But I just know that she's been going through a lot, what with your relative that passed away. I know that your mom wasn't even able to go to the funeral because of her bad leg.
Ah, that's fine. She didn't need to go that in her condition. Besides, she just could have sent you there in her place, and that would have worked out fine.
Richard, please! You know that your mom really did want to be there. Besides, you can't just take the place of someone at a funeral.
Oh my gosh, it's not even that big a deal. It's fine.
Well, you might not think so, but thanks to all the running around I've been doing today, I am stuck in traffic and might not be able to pick up Junior on time. Do you think that you could go and pick him up for me instead?
Hold a second. You want me to go and pick up our son from his preschool?
Yeah, of course. Like I said, I'm stuck in this traffic, and I know that your office isn't all that far from the school. Even your mom told me to ask you since she didn't want me driving recklessly to get there.
Did my mom really tell you to ask me to go and pick up Junior for you?
Yeah, of course she did. So can you please do this for me, Richard? It would help a lot.
Well, I guess if that's what my mom asked me to do, then I'll do it. But only today. You got it?
Yes, thank you so much. This is a huge help. In that case, I'll just head back to your mom's and help put things away for the funeral. I know that your mom is probably wanting the company anyways.
Great. Just make sure that you don't embarrass me in front of any other relatives that might still be there at my mom's house.
I know, you've got a reputation to uphold and all that. But, I had no idea that your mom lived in such a huge house.
Well, both of my parents' families come from quite a bit of money, so it shouldn't be all that surprising. I guess you could say that I'm blue-blooded.
I know that you'd told me that before, but I still just didn't know what to expect. And her house is full of so many nice things.
Yeah, I suppose a commoner like you has probably never even been close to being in a place like that before. But don't touch anything in my mom's house. You got it? It's all very expensive, and if you break anything, then it's going to be humiliating for me.
Of course, I won't touch or move anything. You've got nothing to worry about there. Besides, your mom is going to be there. She'll make sure I don't get into trouble.
She better, and you better obey whatever she tells you to do. Remember, you're there to help her, and you should try to get her to like you while you do. After all, I'm my mom's eldest child, and you're my wife, so you have to be on your best behavior at all times.
Man, could you put any less pressure on me for this, Richard?
So what are you going to do? Are you going to spend the night there or come back after a while?
I think your mom already has her guest house set up for other guests there, so I was probably going to get home around 7?
Just make sure that you get home with enough time to make dinner. Got it? Because I'm not going to pick up the kid and cook for you.
Hey there, Richard. I just wanted to let you know that I'm leaving your mom's place. I was going to stop by the grocery store and pick up something on the way home. Do you still need dinner?
Hey, what's the big idea here? Huh? What's going on? Why is Junior like this?
Sorry, what do you mean by that? What's going on with Junior? Is everything okay?
Well, I went to the preschool to pick up Junior, and he was way calmer than the rest of the kids in his class. He was hardly even speaking. What's the matter with our son? Has he not learned how to speak yet? What are they teaching him at this preschool?
Well, I guess he's just a little shy. Kids develop at different rates, you know?
Okay, but my kid should be developing at a faster rate than the other ones. How could you let this happen to our own child?
Richard, I've noticed it as well and have talked to the teachers about it. They said that they see this all the time. But they also say that in the 6 months he's been there, that Junior has grown in many other ways.
What does it matter what way he grown if he can't even speak?
I think we just need to give our child time to do this on his own. We just need to be there and foster a good and comfortable learning environment for him.
Oh, give me a break. What kind of crap have you been reading that says that? You really think I'm going to sit here and let you turn my son stupid?
I really think that you're blowing this all out of proportion, Richard. The teachers tell me this fixes itself with time.
And since when are preschool teachers medical professionals, huh? You might as well ask someone on the street for their opinion.
You really don't think that the teachers here wouldn't know what to look for just through their experience? Do you know how many kids they've had to take care of and how many different issues they faced?
All that experience, and they still couldn't prevent my son from not being able to talk. Some good it did us, huh? Now he's probably going to be like this for the rest of his life.
Richard, I seriously don't think that's what's going to happen with Junior.
My son, look how they massacred my boy. We'll just have to try and make a new child now, I suppose. No point in holding out any hope for Junior.
What are you talking about? How could you say that about our own son?
This is all your fault, you know. Something must have gone wrong with him while he was in your womb.
Okay, now you're really taking this too far. Our son is 3 years old. He is still growing. You need to calm down and let this process unfold over the time that it takes to do so.
No, my son should be speaking by now, but he's not. Now the whole school knows he's a failure with your horrible genes.
And just what is that supposed to mean?
Well, it's obviously your fault. My parents both come from very prestigious bloodlines, which means that the problem must be all your fault.
Our son is literally 3 years old. Why are you jumping to all of these outlandish conclusions? Richard isn't stupid. I don't have bad genes and things are going to be just fine. I can't believe that you honestly suggested giving up on Richard and having another child. They are commodities. We don't just make new ones when the ones we have are disappointing us.
Quit wasting time making excuses. You and I need to keep having kids over and over again until we finally make a good one.
Don't you remember the issues that I had just giving birth to Junior? I was losing so much blood, I could have died.
I don't care what it costs. You will keep having babies. I'm not going to let your weak body distort my genes.
I didn't distort anything, and that's so offensive of you to even say that. Besides, it's my life, and you can't order me to have your children. Richard, are you there? I was just curious about this paperwork that arrived from an adoption agency.
That's right. I want you to take Junior and drop him off at the return address. It's high time that we get rid of this defective little brat.
Richard, what on earth are you talking about? You can't be serious about this. This is your son.
Well, what other choice do I have? My son is a little screw-up. You ruined him with your bad genes, and now he's never ever going to speak for the rest of his life. In fact, you can take our dumb son, pack up your bags, and leave too. I'm going to find a woman with better genes to make a child with.
You really are just taking this way too far. Do you know that? How could you even ask me to do something like that? The only mistake I've made around here was ever thinking that you could be a good father. You do nothing to help, and the minute you run into a little trouble, you choose to give up.
Don't you dare and try to spin this to be about me. I didn't do anything wrong at all, and you know it.
Are you sure about that? Because I bet if there was anything genetically wrong with our child, it came from you. But I would never even suggest that about our boy because I love him and think he's perfect the way he is. You're the one who wasn't raised right. You didn't get a proper education, and now you're blaming me for the problems that you have.
What in the world are you even talking about? You don't know anything about anything.
Well, then why are you doing this? Why are you treating your wife and son this way? Because this isn't the way that a father should treat his child, or a husband his spouse. Don't you have any shame about any of this at all? I mean, where in the world did I wrong you raising you like this? Honestly, I have no idea how my own son ended up being so awful.
Your own son? Wait a second. Is that you, Mom?
Of course it's your mother. I'm here with Maggie because she's been telling me all the horrible ways you've been treating her and Junior.
But wait, is that really you, Mom? Please, you have to understand. I wasn't going to let Maggie drag our family down.
And in what possible way would she be dragging our family down?
Well, I just mean that it's her bad genes that made Junior the way that he is. Can't you understand that she's no good for our family?
Richard, you have no room to stand out to be saying anything about your son and wife. You're in the wrong here, and you've made me so ashamed to be your mother. I mean, you're not even human.
Mom, are you really ashamed of me? Please tell me it isn't so. I didn't mean to hurt you.
Honestly, of all your siblings, I've always had the most trouble with you. You've always just been so selfish. Maybe I should have been worried when you were little and never showed any sympathy towards anything.
Well, what does showing sympathy get you in this world? It's a waste of emotional energy that I don't have time for.
Well, a healthy and well-adjusted adult wouldn't think like that about other people. You should be wanting to be there for your wife and be eager to help your child grow.
But what's the point of wasting time with a kid who's already screwed up? What would be the point?
The point is that you married Maggie and you had a child with her, and that's your family. Honestly, why can't you be more like your younger brother? You know that everyone thinks this way about you, right? Everyone just can't believe the way that you've been treating your own wife.
What is that supposed to mean? You already told our relatives about this? That was so fast.
Well, I had to work fast to make sure that you would have nobody on your side that you could convince to be supporting you. The whole family agreed that if this is the way that you're going to act, then you don't deserve to be part of this family. After all, if anyone is going to denigrate our family name, it's going to be you.
Wait, no, you can't be serious about that. You're not just going to stop talking to me just like that, right? What's going to happen?
You really don't get it, do you? You brag all the time about the amazing schools that you went to, but you don't have anything to show for it.
I know what being cut off means. You're not really going to do it, right? Please. You can't just drop this kind of decision on me like it's nothing.
I'm afraid that I can and just have. If you weren't ready for the shock, you've had all this time to adjust your behavior. But now you should just be a man and accept your punishment. And if you really thought it was okay to be treating your family that way, then this is all the more reason to cut you off.
Maggie, what is this you've left on the table? Why aren't you home right now?
I take it you're back then. I'm not at home because I'm never going back there. I packed up my bags and left with Junior just like you suggested I do. Remember? As for what's on the table, I'm sure you can figure out that they're divorce papers.
But you were just with my mom, right? What was all that about?
Well, I thought I'd tell her about the way you've been treating Junior and I. Then she was the one who suggested the divorce. And before long, she told me that I had the backing of your whole family in this decision.
I still can't believe that my mom was able to tell everyone so quickly. I knew she liked to gossip, but...
Well, it wasn't really that hard. After all, there are still plenty of people in town now that the funeral is done.
So then that's how she was able to talk to so many relatives so quickly. But that's not fair. I'm not even there to defend myself.
You were the one that said you didn't want to waste any time with something like a funeral anyways.
But that's not fair. I'm really busy with work. Why should I have to go?
Because even if you don't like it, these people are still your family, and this is a time when families should come together. I mean, even your little brother is here. But don't worry. Plenty of people have commented on your absence. I guess I didn't realize you were already so unpopular with your family already.
So then you're telling me that my whole family is there. I'm basically the one person who isn't there right now with my mom.
That's right. And I've made sure to tell them all that despite reminding you about this over and over again that you said you'd rather work.
But that's not fair. I mean, it's what I said, but you shouldn't be telling other people that.
Well, it's a bit late to do anything about it now. Especially now that everyone already knows all that they need to.
But how do you know people won't start spreading more rumors about me? What have you done? You've ruined me.
I didn't do anything. You've done this all to yourself, and it's time you accept responsibility. You've always thought you were so perfect thanks to your perfect pedigree. But now not even your family wants you.
So you're going to just leave me like this? Please, Maggie, you can't do this. Please don't leave me. I didn't mean for this to happen.
After that, Richard drove all through the night to arrive at his mom's house the next day. But some of his cousins prevented him from going in the house. They told him that he wasn't welcome there anymore, and that he'd forfeited his position as his mom's eldest child. Even Richard's own mother told me how grateful she was that she had a son younger than Richard. I also heard through the grapevine that Richard's work life started to fall apart after that, and finally he was forced to quit his job. Then came our divorce. We split our assets, and I was able to get full custody of Junior after presenting to the court Richard's attempt to give him up for adoption. Now he has to pay for child support every single month. To do so, Richard had to find a job quickly. Now I hear that he lives in a cramped little apartment doing his best to make ends meet and keep up with his legal obligations. As for Junior and I, after the divorce, I thought about moving, but didn't want to pull Junior out of his preschool. I was glad that I didn't, because a month after we stopped living with his father, Junior spoke his first words. Now it's more difficult to get him to stop talking than it is the other way around. In some ways, I wish Richard could be here to see it.
Oh man, I'm finally off the plane. What a long flight. But at least I'm finally on my way to the hotel for my business trip.
Well, it sounds to me like you've had quite the busy day today. And to think that you got stuck in that airport for hours because of that last-minute delay.
Yeah, I really didn't see that one coming. And man, did it take forever to finally get that plane sorted again. There were people starting to get really pissed at the people by the check-in desk. And a bunch of crying kids and stuff too. It was a real mess. I'm just glad that I survived a day like today. Wouldn't you say, Hanny?
Hanny? Where did that come from?
What do you think? It's a nickname that I came up with for you while I was up in the air. I think it's pretty good if you ask me. The truth is that I just had way too much time on my hands. The Wi-Fi wasn't even working on the flight.
I see. Well, I guess I am happy that what you do in your free time is think of names for me.
Oh, well, I'm just so glad that you don't mind me calling you that then, Hanny. But just know that I'm the only one who should be allowed to call you that. And you better not let any other men call you something similar, got it?
Well, of course. What other men would I even know who would want to call me something like that?
I'm just saying that you're all mine, you know that? You're my Hanny. Just know that even when I was locked in that hunk of metal flying across the sky, that I was still just thinking about you the whole time. I really do wish I could have brought you along on this trip with me. I've been thinking a lot about how long it's been since you and I were last able to go on a fun trip together.
Oh, John. Stop it. Have you really been thinking of me that much? You're going to make me blush, you know.
Well, we just need to wait a little bit longer, and then I'm finally going to divorce that lousy wife of mine. And then you and I can finally be together as man and wife.
Hold on a second. You're going to divorce your wife?
Of course I am. You didn't think that her and I were going to stay together forever, right? Besides, I really am getting sick of having to deal with that old hag. You're the only one that I want to spend my life with now, Hanny.
Well, while I really appreciate your feelings, I'm not sure that we should be talking about your wife like this.
Oh, come on. Do you mean that you're really going to pity her more than you do me? Sure, she was pretty once, but now she's just a washed-up old hag. It's like she tricked me into marrying her, and the second we were wed, she started to let herself go. I thought that she was going to be pretty forever. But at least now with someone as pretty as you.
Oh, stop it. You don't need to say those things about me.
But I mean it. I think that you're just so gorgeous, and I feel so happy that you and I ended up together. It really is true. In fact, I want you to know that one of the reasons why I'm working so hard is so that I can marry you one day. In fact, our 3rd anniversary with my wife is coming up, and I was thinking, that's the day that I want to leave her and marry you. Anyways, I'm about to reach my hotel now, so I'll have to get all my things and start checking in. But anyways, I just wanted to let you know how much I miss you.
Hannah, are you there? I'm really sorry to message you suddenly like this, but do you have a moment to chat?
Oh, hey there, Fiona. I'm actually just a little bit busy right now. But when I finish with what I'm doing here, I'll be glad to talk to you.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that you were busy. I guess that it must be the busy season for your office then, right?
No, it's not a work thing that I'm busy with, actually. I just have a lot that I need to think about.
You have things you need to think about. This wouldn't happen to be about my son's affair, would it?
Wait, what? I don't get it. How did you find out about this?
I knew it. And let me guess. You've been getting some kind of strange texts from my son as well. Is that right? He's probably said something about some kind of strange nickname. Isn't that right?
Hold on a second. You mean that you even know the name of the woman he's seeing? I don't understand. How did you figure all of this out?
Well, the truth of the matter is that I had a little something done to John's phone not that long ago.
You had something done to his phone? But what does that mean?
Well, you know how John left for his business trip today, don't you? He actually stopped by my house just a little bit before going to the airport.
Oh, yes. I think he mentioned something about going to see you before his flight was supposed to leave.
And anyways, that son of mine still has a bunch of things at my house. Now I know that there's many reasons for why that is. But anyways, while he was messing around with some of his boxes, I happened to see a strange text come to his from a girl named Hannah. And I just knew when I saw that text that I was looking at something that he didn't want me to see. And anyways, I just know that he's seeing another woman.
I don't believe it. Please tell me that this isn't true.
I'm afraid it is. Although I was so upset that while I was on John's phone, I blocked this Hannah girl's number.
Hold on a second. You did what?
Oh, that's not all I did. I also took photos of the text that I had proof of what he was doing. Just think of how let down I was when I realized what John was doing. I agree that I got quite mad, but it's true. I went on his phone and I blocked this Hannah woman's number.
I see. Well, I didn't want to say anything without proof, but things have been pretty strained for John and I.
But then I had another idea. Instead of having this other woman's number be blocked, I switched out her number with yours instead.
Hold on a second. You did what now? Are you kidding me?
No, it's no lie. I made it so that when he thought he was texting this other woman of his, he would actually be texting you instead. I made it so that he'd never notice what he was doing at all.
Oh, I see. That explains those weird texts that he was sending to me earlier then. Fiona, I have to say, I think that you've really outdone yourself.
Well, like I said, I saw those messages coming in on his phone and I just kinda saw red. I'm really sorry to have done that without telling you first, though. But I just couldn't think of what else to do, and I knew that I had limited time. And I just knew that if I did this, then there was a chance that he would send you all the evidence that he needed.
Well, I don't think that you have anything you need to apologize for. I mean, the truth is that I was quite sure that John was cheating on me this whole time.
But I bet you were surprised to get those kinds of texts from John. Texts that were meant for the woman he was cheating on you with. I wish I could have told you all of this faster before that happened.
Oh, it's true. I was surprised and I just kind of played along with what he was saying. And to be honest, now that I know the full situation, I think that we could have some fun with this.
Wait, really? Just what do you have in mind?
I think that I need a little more time to think about this, but I take it that this means he doesn't realize you know that he's having an affair, right? So if he still hasn't realized that you've switched out the numbers, then I think this means we can get even more evidence of what he's done. I don't know, this is kind of exciting. It's like some kind of spy novel or something.
Well, I guess it kind of is when you put it that way. And I'll be sure to send you the pictures that I took of his messages earlier today, okay?
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate all your help in this, Fiona.
Hey there, Hanny. I just wanted to let you know that I'm finally getting back from my business trip. But I was thinking about stopping by your place first. I have many gifts that I brought for you while I was away.
Oh, really? You did? Oh, sweetie, that's amazing. I'm so excited.
Well, if you're really that happy, then I'm happy. Maybe I'll even give you all the stuff I got from my wife, too.
Are you sure about that? You really want me to have all of that, too? I just don't want your wife to get mad at you when you come back.
Oh, she won't care one bit if I don't bring her anything. Besides, an old hag like that doesn't deserve to get gifts from me. You know, the whole time that I've been away on my trip, she hasn't messaged me even one time to check up on me. She really is just the worst wife a man could ask for.
Well, don't you think that she might have been just a bit busy, do you? Maybe she didn't have time to message you.
Yeah, no. It is for sure not that. I mean, all that woman does is work and raise the kid. She should have plenty of time to message me too. She's just another mom waiting at home for her husband to come back. So I seriously doubt that she was too busy to send even one message to me. And if she really was that busy with working the kid, then that just goes to show how bad she is at doing those things.
Oh, come on, John. Don't you think you're being just a little unfair? I'm sure your wife works hard.
Oh, Hanny, you really are such a sweetie. Do you know that? I mean, you don't need to say a single thing about my wife, and yet you're trying to stand up for her. I really am lucky to be with an angel like you.
You really think that I'm an angel? Oh, John, you know just what to say. Do you know that?
I just wish that I could have met you before I met Fiona. I still think it's so funny how close your names are. Oh, and by the way, I was wondering if I could spend the night at your place tonight. I have the spare key that you gave me, so I can just head straight there.
Are you really sure about that? I mean, I would think that you should go home to your wife the first night that you're back from your trip, right?
Nah, I'll just lie until it'll get pushed back a day or something like that. Besides, it's not often I get to go to your place. I'll just tell Fiona some silly thing like the plane got delayed and they had to put me up in a hotel for an extra night. Although if I had my way, I would just always be going home to you.
Oh, you really are so sweet. Do you know that? But we're not even married yet.
I know, but one day we will be. And then we can finally have the life that we wanted. And then you and I can finally move in together and have our happily ever after.
You mean that you're really going to do it? You're finally going to divorce her? Oh, I'm sure she'll be shocked by that.
I don't care at all how she feels about it. I am sick and tired of living with that woman when I have you in my life now. I'm going to break up with that old hag, and then you and I are finally going to get married. Maybe I should just text her that I want a divorce right now.
You really think you can pull that kind of crap with me, mister?
Wait, what?
I mean that I am seriously at my breaking point with you. And it's not Hanny, John. It's your wife, Hannah. You've been talking to me this entire time that you thought you were talking to Hannah.
Wait, what? What do you mean? I don't understand. What's going on here? What is this?
Are you really going to make me type out the exact thing that I just told you right now? But anyways, I understand exactly where you're coming from now. We can get a divorce. That's just fine with me. In fact, I already have my half of the paperwork signed. All you have to do is sign your half.
But this doesn't make any sense. How could this be happening? I mean, I thought I was texting Hannah, but I'm actually texting Fiona?
That's right. And for one brief second, I actually thought that you would come up with a nickname for me. But you weren't even creative enough to find a woman with a different name from me.
No, this can't be happening. So then, you're really Fiona? Like, my wife Fiona? This doesn't make any sense at all. I thought I was texting Hannah. It's how she saved in my contacts. What is going on here? How did all this happen?
Well, I suppose that you just didn't notice. But if you were to open the contact information that you have for Hannah, you'll see that my number is in there instead. And that's why you've been messaging me this whole time. In fact, you've been messaging me instead of Hannah ever since you left for your business trip.
What? You mean that I've been texting you for the past 4 days? This can't be happening. I thought that I was texting Hannah. I was waiting for you to text me.
But I was texting you. And you should really be ashamed of yourself. Do you know that? I mean, to tell this other woman of yours that I never messaged you? To think that you were going to give her all the gifts you had bought me? To complain to her that all I do for you is work and take care of the kids, as if that isn't already a lot? You just really made up a sad little sob story to tell this woman, didn't you?
But that isn't fair. I thought that I was talking to Hannah. You can't use all of this against me.
And just why can't I do that, huh? Anyways, I know that this Hannah you've been talking to is a woman that works at your office, right? Were you really going to try and end our marriage on our 3rd anniversary? I really am let down in you.
I don't get it. I don't get how you found out. I thought that I was doing so well hiding it from you.
But this is good now, don't you think? I mean, now that I know how you feel, we can get divorced just like you wanted. And then you can go and get married to this Hannah girl. Just like that.
Well, I mean, yeah, that is what I'm going to do, but you weren't supposed to find out that I was cheating on you.
You mean that you were just going to leave me for this other woman all of a sudden and expect me not to guess that you were cheating? Or were you just trying to hide it so that you didn't have to pay for a potential lawsuit against you both? And don't forget about the child support, too. I guess I can't actually see why you would want to try and hide all of this from me after all.
Okay, fine. If it's money you want, then I can pay you, okay? I'll pay for the affair, I'll pay child support. I'll pay all of it. Let's just get divorced and be done with this already.
Ha! And just who do you think you are taking that kind of tone with me? You don't get to brush off your affair like it's nothing.
Well, you already know about it, so I don't see what else there is to say about it. If all you're going to do is lecture me, then let's just get this over with. You know, it's exactly because you act this way that I wanted to cheat on you in the first place. You're always trying to embarrass me. I fell out of love with you, and now I love Hannah with all my heart. So let's do this. Let's get divorced so I can finally marry the woman that I want to.
You really are the worst. Do you know that? And just how are you going to tell this to your parents?
What are you talking about? My mom is going to be thrilled when she sees how gorgeous Hannah is. Do you want a divorce? Let's do this. But I would start packing up your bags now.
After that, John came home with a triumphant look on his face, ready to divorce me and leave me far behind. But what he didn't expect was his mother to be waiting at home there to support me. Not only did she lay into John for lying to me and betraying me, she also told me that she had sent the evidence we had of his affair to the office. John was furious as he knew that office romances were against company policy. She also explained all about her role in helping me learn that he had been cheating on me. John was left speechless, and soon he was informed from his boss that he and Hannah were being let go. Though since he had already signed the divorce papers, he not only had to pay for the affair, but child support as well. Meanwhile, I packed up my things and took me and my child to my parents' house for the time being. As I try and get back on my feet and adjust to the single life, I heard that John and Hannah didn't break up, but both had to scramble to find jobs and are currently living in a cramped apartment room. I've heard through the grapevine that the once happy couple can now be heard shouting loudly at each other through the thin walls of their apartment building. But I just tell myself that this is exactly what John wanted, and have decided to move on with my life. I've since found a new job and was able to buy a good house in a nice area near a good school for my son. I think I'll be happy as long as I never have to deal with John ever again.